Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And welcome to Keep Her Quick, your latest local news and weather, commercial free in about 19 minutes or less. We're going to jump right over to weather because Jefferson seeming like going to be another copy-paste day again today.
Yeah, today is going to be very similar to yesterday. Spotty to sporadic showers and thunderstorms across the viewing area. Now, I will say that we might see coverage that's a little more isolated than yesterday, but still those chances of showers and thunderstorms will be lingering on this Friday. As we go into the weekend, we are going to be looking at calmer weather for absolutely everyone. In fact, the weekend is going to be very nice with passing clouds and sunshine with temperatures in the 80s and 90s across the forecast area. And then things will turn cooler on Monday. We could even see some more precipitation as we go into Monday as well. We will talk more about all of these weather headlines in greater depth coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Walla Walla County. There's some new details on the scenic fire. It is out and all evacuation orders have been lifted. We've talked about that, but the blaze has burned 2 homes. That's according to Fire District 4 Chief John Golden, who was quoted by the Union Bulletin this week. The cause remains under investigation, and the unofficial size estimate is about 120 acres. No residents were injured, though 2 firefighters were. One sprained an ankle and another blistered their hand from touching a hot exhaust. Again, those details haven't been independently confirmed by KEPR, but we are working to do that. And multiple trophy deer and elk taxidermy mounts in the Tri-Cities have been seized amid an ongoing poaching case out of Montana. These are photos of the seizures out of the 2 states. Officers with the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife say 8 of the 11 mounts were found in the Tri-Cities. The investigation has resulted in at least 6 men, 4 of whom are from Washington, being charged with unlawfully killing several bull elk and mule deer bucks in the Bull Mountains of Montana between 2020 and 2024. And on to some continuing coverage of the ongoing strife in Sunnyside City Hall. There's a delay for the protection hearing involving Sunnyside Human Resources Director Irving Brown and City Council member Teresa Hancock. The judge postponed the case due to non-confirmation. The first hearing is now tentatively scheduled for August 27th. At this week's City Council meeting, it was agreed to further extend the administrative leave for City Manager Mike Gonzalez, which was first imposed for 30 days on June 2nd, though the catalyst for the whole situation has not yet been released. And a former UPS driver has been found guilty of 3 counts of vehicular homicide in a crash on I-90 near Cle Elum in 2023. Danny Ray Ellingford was driving a UPS tractor-trailer truck west on the freeway when the truck went off the roadway, crossed the center median, and hit a 2016 Kia Optima occupied by a family heading home to Yakima. The driver and 2 passengers were killed, while the other 2 in the vehicle were seriously injured. Authorities say Ellingford fell asleep at the wheel, and he will be sentenced on August 15th. 2 people were taken to the hospital after authorities say they drove their ATV off a 30-foot cliff without helmets Wednesday night. Leaders from Benton County Fire District 1 say it happened just before 10 at State Route 397 near Boffer Canyon Road. Both people, described only as males, have significant injuries, including one with open fractures on both arms. Benton County Sheriff's deputies say citizens stopped by to provide aid until medics could arrive. Deputies are now investigating. And the Franklin County Public Utility District is warning about a phone scam targeting its customers. Customers have been getting calls from scammers impersonating Franklin PUD employees, asking them to assist with an indoor pollution survey. The scammers are even faking their own number, making it appear on caller ID as the office of Franklin PUD. But it's all a ploy to get you to reveal personal information. It's always best to hang up immediately if you get one of these calls, and if you're unsure if a call is legit, you can look up the number for the organization and call them directly. We also have some new data released by the Washington State Patrol that shows speeding issues in work zones across the state. Leaders from the agency say nearly 7,600 citations for infractions have been issued in work zones via speed cameras placed there. They say while they expected high numbers, the total number seen over the last 90 days is eye-opening and proof of a growing issue seen over the years.
Of too many people being hurt and even killed in these work zones. It's not fair to the workers. It's not fair to other drivers. It's not fair to yourself to put yourself in harm's way. We just need to slow down, and we need to look out for one another.
Now, troopers tell us while all of the speed camera infractions were from the west side, the plan is to introduce them to the east side once they get more of them. And where's the beef? Well, Benton County Sheriff's deputies may have an idea. They responded to a call of a bull found on Haney Road and snapped this picture. They're looking for the owner so they can take him home, and say a concerned citizen has allowed the bull to stay in a pasture until the owner is identified. If he's yours or you know who owns this bull, you're urged to contact the Benton County Sheriff's Office via their non-emergency line. And switching gears this morning, the Port of Kennewick is temporarily pausing property sales at Vista Field amid PFAS detection in the region. The hazardous chemical, which is found in items like nonstick cookware, firefighting foam, and de-icer, was discovered back in June on a commercial lot under construction at the urban redevelopment site. Earlier this month, the port already paused all construction of additional parking lots and utilities until additional soil testing could be completed. Port leaders now tell us about 25 tests will be conducted across the site in mid-August, with the results expected around Labor Day. They also say continuation of property sales will be contingent on those test results. And a harmful algal bloom has been found at Heisey Park in Granger. Warning signs can be found around the pond and will remain in place until toxin levels are within recreational limits for 2 weeks in a row. In the meantime, you're asked to avoid swimming, drinking, and even coming in contact with the water. And a closure is coming to a Yakima pool, shutting it down for most of the month. Lions Pool is going to be closed from this coming Monday, August 4th, until Sunday, August 24th, for annual maintenance. Yakima Parks and Recreation crews will be sprucing up several parts of the facility and performing general maintenance and repairs. Franklin Pool and the Aquatic Center at Martin Luther King Jr. Park will both be open during this period. And this weekend, the city of Pasco is hosting an event at Memorial Pool to promote water safety. Pasco Parks and Recreation is partnering with the Pasco Fire Department this Saturday to hand out more than 80 life jackets, all for free. They say it's important to bring a life jacket with you if you plan to spend any time around waterways.
We don't want them to overlook safety when it comes to having fun, and we want to remind them that, hey, these are here, they're good, they're still cool to wear, and that we should be wearing them, especially if you're not a very strong swimmer.
If we can get the fire department out to do CPR demonstration, to bring out their water rescue equipment for people to see what they're also doing, it's a good opportunity for us to come together and show the different ways the city is trying to promote water safety.
Now, you're encouraged to stop by tomorrow around 5 in the afternoon, and there's a free swim at 6:15, followed by a free family movie night in Memorial Park. And after a number of issues last winter, the city of Ellensburg has agreed to a contract with a local church to open a new cold weather shelter for residents starting this November. KIMA's Aidan Connor was in Ellensburg and spoke with the city about the decision to partner with the church.
Grace Episcopal Church on North B Street will serve a new purpose these upcoming fall and winter seasons, providing Ellensburg residents with a safety blanket in cold weather.
So the church was offering this property for commercial lease, and it was an opportunity that we were excited by, and they've been great to work with.
The city of Ellensburg previously used multiple churches as shelters, but decided that one property was the best choice.
So we offered a cold weather shelter between those different churches in the past. The churches had different activities going on their site, so they couldn't accommodate that regular 1 or 2 nights per week. So the idea was to move to a single site, makes it more predictable both for the guests who come to the shelter and for the churches.
The city has seen success with the cold weather shelter philosophy.
So last year, on average, there were 11 guests per night, and our highest guest total per night was 17. And we do tend to see that there are more guests on those coldest nights.
They see the service as a priority for those in the city who may not have other options for shelter.
It's been considered a community priority for the city and the county to partner to make this possible for our residents who would otherwise be outside during the winter.
The community has been well receiving of the city's choice.
Generally, we've heard that the community's been supportive of the cold weather shelter. We had a meeting at the church to get community feedback and consider anything that we could manage from an operational standpoint to make sure that their concerns were addressed, and generally people were supportive of this opportunity.
Grace Church will serve as a cold weather shelter from November to March. Reporting for Action News, I'm Aidan Connor.
KMA's Aiden Connor, thank you. And Jefferson, we might not need that cold weather shelter for a hot minute, considering things are going to be pretty warm during the, the dog days of summer. But we also have some precipitation on the forecast, so we might just want to break out the umbrella.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. We don't need that cold weather shelter anytime soon. But when we talk about cold, we talk about the winter, we talk about active weather, and we will be faced with some active weather in our viewing area today. In fact, at the time of this recording, let's take a look at the Doppler radar imagery. We're already starting to see some pop-up showers in our viewing area. You can see those with these splotches of green on the screen. As we do go throughout this Friday, we are going to be confronted with spotty and sporadic showers and thunderstorms, not too different than what we did see yesterday. Diving right into the Storm Tracker Futurecast at around noon today, you can see some of those showers and thunderstorms still ongoing in parts of our viewing area. And even through this afternoon and into this evening, some lingering showers and thunderstorms are going to continue. This isn't going to be a terribly widespread thunderstorm type of day, but again, everyone will at least have the opportunity to see showers and thunderstorms, even if you don't experience one directly at your home. Let's talk about high temperatures for today. We are going to see highs rising primarily into the low to mid 90s in the Tri-Cities. Anticipate low to mid 90s for the Yakima Valley today, upper 80s to low 90s in the Kittitas Valley this afternoon, with daytime highs in the mid to upper 80s for the Blue Mountain foothills, again, as we do look at that opportunity for showers and thunderstorms across the region. Now let's talk about the next 2 days after today. So Saturday and Sunday, we are going to see a rather calm and pretty pleasant weekend. On Saturday, anticipate sunshine with daytime highs into the upper 80s to mid 90s. And then on Sunday, we will be looking at highs in the mid 80s to low 90s with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Now, if you take a look at the more extended Storm Tracker Futurecast, again, very pleasant through the weekend, but as we go towards Monday, we could see a resurgence of some precipitation in our viewing area. I do believe the Kittitas and Yakima valleys will be dry on Monday. The Tri-Cities will be right on the edge of precipitation, although I do believe the Blue Mountains and adjacent foothills will have a great opportunity for some more shower activity as we do start next week. All of us on Monday, we'll also see a cool down with highs in the low to mid 80s. We will talk about that, or I should say we will track that more as we go throughout the weekend, but right now I'm going to toss it back over to Dave.
Thanks, Jefferson. Yakima County voters are getting a chance in November to voice their opinion on the marijuana ban in unincorporated Yakima County. Proposition 1 will ask if you support the ban on production, processing, and retail sales of cannabis products. It is a non-binding ballot proposition, which means however the county votes, nothing is guaranteed to change, but the opinions of the county voters will be known. County Commissioner Kyle Curtis says he will keep the results of this vote under advisement as he does not support the ban.
If you look at the county's ban in our unincorporated, we are not preventing folks from accessing cannabis. With anywhere within the Yakima County, you can drive to the city of Yakima, the city of Union Gap, or drive across county lines to purchase cannabis products. So our ban really doesn't do anything, in my opinion.
Meanwhile, Commissioner Amanda McKinney does support the ban. She made it clear she will side with the opinion of the voters, though, if it comes to a decision. She does want to keep the ban in place.
I personally do not want to see more retail recreational use marijuana in undeveloped Yakima. There exists already in the city limits of Yakima plenty of opportunities for people to acquire that. I do think that there could be value commercially for agriculture. So I would like to pursue that option in the future.
Now, this is the third time a question like this has been asked of county voters. The first 2 times the voters supported keeping the marijuana ban. And in some health news this morning, it's still unclear what's going to happen with Medicaid, but a forum was held in Yakima to clear up some of the rumors circulating. KIMA's John Franklin was at the forum and picks up the story from there.
We have all heard things on social media. We've heard the worst, the best, it's not going to do anything, it's only for people who are not supposed to have it. Really, we don't know for sure.
In Washington, just under 2 million people were enrolled in Medicaid Apple Health.
According to the Congressional Budget Office estimates, federal Medicaid spending will be reduced by about $911 billion in the next 9 or 10 years through 2034, and will lead to about 10 million more people becoming uninsured.
Under terms in the new national budget, not everyone would lose Medicaid, but there would be some more requirements for the coverage.
So these new requirements, I mentioned a renewal cycle every 6 months. The community engagement needs to be 80 hours a month, and that can be satisfied by working, school counts, as well as even volunteer community service.
Dr. Jordan Lohr from Zilla spoke about how sometimes people wait to check medical issues if they don't have insurance, which could lead to worse problems.
And when people come who don't have Medicaid or cash pay patients, they come later. And so they're more likely to be diagnosed with either pelvic inflammatory disease or uterine cancer or things that are more expensive to treat than if they had come unafraid of the cost of services.
County Commissioner Kyle Curtis said that things could change as time goes on and to keep paying attention to the issue.
As with anything, this past year, I will say, is anything that comes out of DC isn't necessarily the cleanest, it's not the clearest, and so you kind of have to wait to see where everything falls to fully understand the picture, and I think for us at the county, that's kind of where we're at.
For Action News, I'm John Franklin.
KMA's John Franklin, thank you. And in some education news, the Gear Up program is looking to offer federal grants in the state of Washington. Gear Up, which stands for Gaining Early Awareness and Readiness for Undergraduate Programs, is a federal grant program funded by the Department of Education that aims to increase the number of low-income students entering post-secondary education programs. Yakima Superintendent Dr. Trevor Green is happy to see the program making its way to the Palm Springs of Washington.
Very excited about our Gear Up program. I think what is lost on some people is that grant follows students from 6th or 7th grade all the way through high school. So it's a cohort model. So those students will receive benefits of touring college, of getting an idea of what it is to be a student beyond the high school level.
The Yakima School District is partnering with the University of Washington as part of the Gear Up program. And it's also going to be a lot busier at Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences with the start of the school year underway. A few things are different this year, though. For starters, they're welcoming their biggest incoming class in their short history, with 250 students continuing their education in Terrace Heights. Secondly, they have a new president, Dr. Michael Middleman. He'll be starting his new position today. And finally, as we reported last week, the School of Dental Medicine is beginning its first year with 36 students in the inaugural class. And switching gears, Alaska Airlines has announced a new flight's coming to the Tri-Cities Airport beginning on October 26th. It will be the second nonstop Alaska Airlines flight from the Tri-Cities to the LA area. It'll likely be operated by either SkyWest Airlines or Horizon Air.
LA Basin is our #1 market. So anytime we can add flights to the LA Basin, it's a big win for us and a big win for our community. So we're very excited about the Burbank flight.
So far this year, traffic at the Tri-Cities Airport is up 9%, meaning this could be one of the busiest years ever at the growing airport. And finally, business is booming on Canal Drive in Kennewick. A new Panera Bread restaurant officially opened to the public yesterday morning, marking its second location in the Tri-Cities. Now, reports say lines started to build as early as Wednesday evening in anticipation of the opening. The popular bakery cafe chain is currently housed in half of the former Old Country Buffet building, with the other half awaiting a future business. The grand opening comes a little more than a month after the Chick-fil-A arrived on Canal Drive, less than a block away. And that does it for us. Thank you for watching this episode of Keep Her Quick. For more local news and weather, you can head over to our websites, KEPR and KIMATV.com, as well as our Facebook pages. But while you're here, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with our latest mini newscasts Monday through Friday. Have a terrific weekend, everybody.